RC Robbin, thank you for joining me. This is a created franchise on MLB The Show 20. It's called the MCU or Hollywood Avengers. It's filled with the actors that play in the MCU. They've taken the place of the San Diego Padres in the National League West. Currently, the team is 12-9. It's the middle of April. They're a game and a half out of first place, and let's jump in and play a game. So, just swept a short 2-game series against the Arizona Diamondbacks, and now we're going to start a 3-game set against the Chicago Cubs at Wrigley Field. So here we go. Play game. Okay. Keep them active. Play full game. We are the away team in our banana outfits, Wrigley Field. Broadcast. Samuel L. Jackson is the starting pitcher. That is the starting lineup. Let's rock and roll. New headset, so hopefully this microphone actually works. Fingers crossed. See what happens. Welcome to a presentation of Major League Baseball as the Hollywood Avengers visit the Chicago Cubs here at Wrigley Field. On the mound for the Cubs is Sonny Gray, making his 5th start of the season. His record is 2-1 with a 6.98 ERA. And he gets to face Spider-Man, a.k.a. Tom Holland, hitting .442 in this young season. He brings a 10-game hitting streak into the game. And he breaks his bat, dribbles it over to, takes it himself, just in time. And there's one out. Starting lineup for the Hollywood Avengers. Tom Holland just led off, plays second base. Anthony Mackie's at short. Robert Downey Jr. is at first. Chris Evans is behind the plate. Chadwick Boseman is at third. Mark Ruffalo is the designated hitter. Idris Elba's in left. Dave Bautista's in right. And Don Cheadle batting ninth and playing center field. Anthony Mackie, Falcon, hitting .354, steps up to the plate with one out here in the top of the first. Takes outside, ball one. Cubs are 500, 11-11. It's good for 4th place in the NL Central. Count as 1 ball and no strikes on Cheadle. I'm sorry, check that, Anthony Mackie. Checks his swing, count as 2 balls and no strikes on Sam Wilson. And he pulls it to the right side and through for a base hit. And with 1 out here in the top of the first, the Avengers have a base runner. Here's the replay.
The first baseman, number 12.
Pulls it to the right side. So, Robert Downey Jr. himself is hot in his last 4 games. Overall, he's hitting .250 with 3 homers and 11 runs batted in. Tony Stark steps up to the plate with 1 down here in the first. And he swings and fouls it back to the screen. Count is 0-1. And he skies it to center. There is the center fielder who makes the catch for the 2nd out. Falcon returns to first.
Batting 4th, the
catcher, Chris Evans, a.k.a. Captain America, hitting .274, 3 homers, 13 runs batted in. Steps up. Switch hitter batting from the left side against the right-handed Gray. Quick pitch over to first. Falcon dives back. He's in there. Fouls off the high fastball. Count is 0-1 on Evans. Outside, count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike on Evans. Quick throw to first. Mackie is in there. Checks his swing, pitches low, count is 2 balls and 1 strike. Carl Dixon is the home plate umpire calling balls and strikes. And he pulls it through the right side for a base hit, and with 2 down, they have runners at first and second after the single by Chris Evans. Here's the replay.
That's it. The third baseman, number 20.
So next up is the late, great Chadwick Boseman, hitting .353, takes a 17-game hitting streak into this at-bat, and he lines out on the first pitch to retire the side. They leave 2 runners on, but after a half an inning, the Hollywood Avengers nothing. The Chicago Cubs come into bat. On the mound for the Avengers is Samuel L. Jackson, making his 5th start of the season. He's 1-3 with a 4.44 earned run average. And leading off for the Cubs, Robin Yount hitting .287, 6 homers, 16 runs batted in. Checks the swing, but called a strike. Avengers are 3 games over 500. That's good for 3rd place in the National League West. That is Chadwick Boseman at 3rd base and Idris Elba in left. Count is 0-1 on Yount. And he fouls the cut fastball off. Count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes on the Hall of Fame shortstop and center fielder who used to play for the Milwaukee Brewers back in the 80s. And he fouls off the screwball. Count remains no balls and 2 strikes. And fouls off the cut fastball, and we'll do it again. And he waits on the knuckleball, but pulls it foul. Count remains 0-2. And he hits a lazy fly ball towards the left field line. Idris Elba is there to make the catch, 1 away. Starting lineup for the Cubs, Robin Yount led off, plays shortstop. Lorenzo Cain is the designated hitter. Frank Thomas is at first, George Forster in left, Wilson Contreras behind the plate, Andrew Jones in center, Craig Biggio is at second, Austin Meadows in right, and Brian Anderson batting 9th and playing 3rd base. So Lorenzo Cain is hitting .390 with 2 runs batted, and he's obviously a backup. He has limited time. Swings and misses ahead of the breaking ball, strike 1. And he pulls the cut fastball foul. The count is 0-2 on Cain. Grounds it to Mackie. Falcon throws across the diamond, and there's 2 away. Here comes the replay. The big hurt, Frank Thomas, hitting .307, 4 homers, 14 runs batted in. He's on an 8-game hitting streak. Swinging a miss at the breaking ball, strike 1. Strike 2, out in front of the breaking ball, yet again. Frank Thomas played for the Chicago White Sox in the 90s and 2000s. Pitches high, ball 1, count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Yeah, he was wondering if it was high. Grounds it to the first baseman. Tony Stark takes it himself to retire the side. So after 1 inning of play, there is no score here at Wrigley Field. Top of the 2nd. Leading off for the Avengers is Mark Ruffalo, who plays the Hulk in the Marvel Universe. He's hitting .274, 3 homers, 15 runs batted in. And he's a little late on the breaking ball. The count is 0-1. Out in front of the slider, counts quickly, no balls and 2 strikes on Ruffalo. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and there's 1 down here in the second. Sonny Gray's first strikeout.
That is set. The left fielder, number 63.
The man who plays Hemedal steps to the plate with 1 out in the second. He's hitting .260, 2 homers, 10 RBIs. And Idris Elba swings and misses for strike 1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. He has that slider working. Count is 0-2 on Elba. Fouls off the high fastball. Count remains 0-2. So there's no score here in Wrigley. It's the top of the second. 1 down, bases empty. Count is 0-2. Just gets a piece of the slider to stay alive. Outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. And he hits it high and deep, but playable in left. He makes the catch for George Foster, makes the catch for out number 2.
Batting it, the right fielder.
So Drax the Destroyer steps to the plate with 2 outs. Dave Bautista is hitting .282, 4 homers, 11 runs batted in. Pitch is outside, ball 1. He is 5 for his last 11, so he's hot in his past 3 games. Ball 2, 2-0. Down in the dirt. Count is 3 balls, no strikes. Will he have the green light? High strike. Hitters count. 3 balls, 1 strike. 2 outs here in the top of the second. Here comes the pitch from Sonny Gray. And he jams him. Right fielder barely has to move. He makes the catch to retire the side. So it's a 1-2-3 inning for Sonny Gray. And after an inning and a half of play, there's still no score here at Wrigley. Bottom of the second, George Foster steps to the plate. He's hitting .250, 8 homers, 21 runs batted in for the Chicago Cubs. If I'm not mistaken, I think George Foster played most of his career with the Cincinnati Reds in the 70s. I don't know. And it's a line drive down the left field line and it will roll towards the corner. Elba fires into second, but he's going to be in there with a leadoff double. That is George Foster's second double of the season.
The catcher, Wilson.
And he makes the turnaround first. Never slows down. So, Wilson Contreras, the catcher, he's batting a .185, 1 homer, 5 RBIs. He has a runner in scoring position with nobody out. And the knuckleball floats outside, ball 1. Count is 1-0. Swing and a miss. Inside fastball. Count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike on Contreras. Foul tip into the glove, strike 2. Just misses the outside corner. Count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. He wanted that pitch. Runner leads off second. Nobody out here in the bottom of the second inning. Oh, he tried to check his swing. Could not do it. And it is strike 3. And there's 1 down here in the second. Andrew Jones, center fielder. 315, 8 homers, 20 runs batted in. Played center field for the Atlanta Braves in real life. Steps up for the Chicago Cubs. Knuckleballs in there. Strike 1. Just misses outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. At the knees, strike 2. Count as 1 ball and 2 strikes on Andrew Jones. Andrew Jones, my memories of him are in the 1996 World Series at 19 years old. Fouls off the pitch. Count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 out here in the second. Again, the runner, George Foster, leads off second. Strike 3 looking inside corner, and there's 2 away. Sam Jackson's second strikeout. Nick Fury. Craig Biggio, 3,000 hit guy, Hall of Famer. In this fictional universe, he's batting 200, 2 homers, 6 runs batted in. There's 2 down. Cut fastball in there, strike 1. Craig Biggio played for the Houston Astros in real life. And he lines it the other way, but Drax is there. Batista makes the catch to retire the side. So after 2 innings of baseball, they leave a runner on, and there's still no score here at Wrigley Field. Top of the 3rd. The number 9 hitter, Don Cheadle, War Machine, is hitting 3. No, check that. It's the number. He's hitting 354 from the number 9 hole. And he pulls it through the hole between first and second. All 3 of their hits have found that hole in the infield. This time, it's a leadoff single here in the top of the 3rd. So the lineup turns over. Tom Holland steps up. He's 0 for 1. Quick throw to first. Cheadle's back in. War Machine. James Rhodes. So Peter Parker steps in. He's 0 for 1. Another throw to first. Tom Holland so far in this month of April, granted it's early, is shown to be the best hitter on the team. Outside, ball 1. He's hitting .437 on the season so far. And he pulls it high and deep, but it's curling foul. Strike 1. Count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. In the dirt, bounces away, he goes to second, and on the wild pitch, Don Cheadle advances to scoring position with nobody out. Count is 2 balls and 1 strike on Holland. And the breaking ball finds the strike zone. Count evens at 1 ball and 1 no, check that. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Tom Holland. Line drive base hit. And the runner will hold at third. Throw home is up the line, but still it was hit too hard to score the run. So it's an 11-game hitting streak for Holland. There's runners at first and third with nobody out here in the 3rd inning. He just goes with it, smashes it the opposite way. So Anthony Mackie, the Falcon, he singled in the 1st. He's up to 361. Takes outside ball 1. He has a runner 90 feet from home plate that he can get home without the benefit of a hit. Quick throw to first. Spider-Man's back. Outside again, count is 2 balls and no strikes on Mackie. Three balls, no strikes. Will he have the green light on 3-0? So Iron Man is on deck. Inside corner, strike 1. Hitters count 3 balls, 1 strike. Runners lead off first and third. There's nobody out here. And he hits it 4, 6, 3, double play. So the MCU get a run on the double play by Anthony Mackie. He does not get a run batted in. So they exchange a run for 2 outs. Second baseman. 4, 6 is the shortstop. 3 is the big Frank Thomas at first base. So instead of having the bases loaded, Robert Downey Jr. gets up with nobody on and 2 outs. I'm sure he's disappointed. And yet another hit through that hole between first and second. They're going to wear out the grass on that side of the field. And with 2 down, they have a base runner at first. So the catcher, Captain America, who singled in the first, steps up again. In the dirt. Bounces, keeps it in front of him. No advance. Tony stays at first. Checks the swing. Count is 2 balls and no strikes. Swing and a miss underneath the fastball. Count is 2 balls and 1 strike on Chris Evans. Hitters count 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Runner leads off first here in the top of the third. There's a 1-0 lead for the MCU. And he's a little late on the fastball. Count will go full. The runner should be off at first. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Fouls it back and we'll do it again. Pitches low, ball 4. He walks him. So another a 2-out walk puts runners at first and second here in the top of the third. Chadwick Boseman, T'Challa, the man they call Black Panther, is 0 for 1. He's hitting .348 on the season. He has a runner in scoring position. And he fouls his fastball back to the screen, strike 1. Count evens 1 ball and 1 strike on Boseman. Runners lead off first and second. Count is 2-1. Robert Downey Jr. leads off second. Chris Evans leads off first. Count is 2 balls and 1 strike. And he bounces it to the third baseman, who fires across the diamond to retire the side. So they leave 2 runners on. But they do get a run on the double play. And 2.5 innings of baseball complete. It's the Hollywood Avengers 1, the Chicago Cubs 0. Bottom of the third. Stepping up to the plate is Austin Meadows, hitting .253.
The right fielder, Austin Meadows.
In there, strike 1. Curveball at the knees. And he lines it over the head of the shortstop, Anthony Mackie. He makes a big turn at first, but he'll stay at first for a leadoff single here in the bottom of the third. Here's the replay. Lines it hard over the head of Falcon. So, the number 9 hitter, Brian Anderson, is hitting .224, 2 homers, 8 runs batted in. Runner leads off first. It's Austin Meadows. And it's low, ball 1. And he pulls the fastball into left, but Elba is there. Hemedal makes the catch for the first out.
The batter, not shortstop.
Leadoff man Robert Yount flew out in the first. He's hitting .284 with 6 homers and 16 runs batted in. Steps in for his second plate appearance. High strike. Knuckleball floats in there. Count is 0-1. Fastball at the knees. Strike 2. Strike 3 looking. Got him on the breaking ball. I think it was a knuckleball. It's his third strikeout of the game.
Designated hitter.
See, there's no rotation on that baseball. That's how you know it's a knuckler. So with 2 down, Lorenzo Cain steps up. He's 0 for 1. Fastball inside corner. Strike 1. Throw down to second is not in time. Austin Meadows steals the base and puts himself in scoring position with 2 outs. Throw was a little offline from Evans. So a single can get him home. Count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Just misses outside, 2-1. He hits it high and deep. Will it go foul? No, it hits the foul pole for a 2-run home run. Lorenzo Cain's first home run of the season, and they take a 2-1 lead here in the third. Oh boy. See the replay. Crushes it. Question is whether it will go fair or foul. As you can see, it hits the foul pole. Well, it's a 2-1 ball game here in the bottom of the third. There's 2 down. Big hurt Frank Thomas steps up to the plate. At the knees, strike 1. Frank's 0 for 1 today. And he pops it up the elevator shaft. Captain America at the plate makes the catch to retire the side. But not before a 2-run homer by Lorenzo Cain gives the Chicago Cubs the lead. The end of 3. It's the Cubs 2, the Avengers 1. So, top of the 4th, Mark Ruffalo steps to the plate to lead it off. He is the Hulk.
Number 84.
Bruce Banner fouls off the first pitch, strike 1. Checks his swing, pitches low, count evens 1 ball and 1 strike on Ruffalo. Way out in front of the slider, count is 1 ball and 2 strikes on Hulk. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Strike him out, throw him out, 1 away. Idris Elba flew out in the second. This is his second plate appearance today. And he hits a hard shot down the left field line. It will roll all the way to the corner. And by the time they get that ball in, it's going to be a 1-out double for Idris Elba. That's his 3rd double of the season. Here's the replay. Line drive over the head of the 3rd baseman, rolls into the corner. So next up is Drax the Destroyer, who flew out in the second as well. He's 0 for 1. Pitches outside, ball 1. He has a runner at second with 1 down here in the top of the 4th. MCU is trailing by 1, 2-1. Fouls off the high fastball. Count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. at the knees. Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Dave Bautista's hitting .313 with runners in scoring position. That's the situation we're in. And he grounds it towards the middle. Robbin makes a nice play, gets him by a step. The runner advances to third with 2 down.
Now batting, number 10.
So War Machine Don Cheadle, who had a single and a run scored in his first at-bat, steps up with a runner at third base and 2 down. First pitch is outside, ball 1. My goodness. His average with runners in scoring position is .500 for the season. Did he check it? Yes, he did. Count is 2 balls and no strikes. Granted, it's just the middle of April. It's only game number 20 or 21. But that's an RBI single for Don Cheadle. And the score is tied at 2. Nice job. That batting average will go over 500 now with runners in scoring position. Let's look at the replay. Hard line drive back up the middle. So, again, Tom Holland, Spider-Man, who's 1 for 2 with a single, steps up. Quick throw to first. He's back. Again, throw to first. And he fouls off the fastball back to the screen. Count is no balls and 1 strike. Tom Holland, he's got the average up to 443. Out in front of the slider. Count is 0-2 on Spidey.
1 ball.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Cheadle leads off first, 2 down. And he's going. And he swings and misses at strike 3. So the side is retired, but not before an RBI single from Don Cheadle ties the game. And 3.5 innings of baseball played. It's Chicago and Hollywood Avengers tied at 2. Bottom of the 4th, George Foster steps up. He had a double in the 2nd. He faces Nick Fury. And the pitch is low, ball 1. Leads the team with 21 RBIs. And he fouls off the knuckleball, strike 1. Count even at 1 ball and 1 strike. We have a tie ball game here in the 4th. It's 2-2. First game of a 3-game set at Wrigley Field. 2 balls, 1 strike. Pitch is low. Look at those sideburns. That's how you know it's a guy from the 70s. And he skies it towards the left field gap, but Elba is there to make the catch, and there's 1 out. Pitch speed comparison brought to you by Topps Playing Cards. As you can see, they're both in the mid-90s. Not much of a difference. Catcher Wilson Contreras struck out in the 2nd. He's 0 for 1. Screwball's in there, strike 1. And he grounds it foul down the first base line. Count is 0-2. And he tries to drive the knuckleball, but couldn't quite get on top of it. High and tight. Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes on Contreras. And he lines it down the third base line, and it will bounce and ricochet off the wall. Strong throw from Elba will hold him at first. So with 1 down in the 4th, it's a single from Contreras. Had it not hit that wall right there and bounced out to Elba, I have a feeling it would have been a double, but Andrew Jones steps to the plate. He struck out in the second. He's up with 1 out in the fourth. And he fouls the fastball back, strike 1. He's hitting .311 on the season. And the hard smash up the middle, past the diving attempt. And he'll make it to third. So it's first and third with 1 out here in the fourth. And the catcher, Wilson Contreras, fell to the ground after the last play, clutching his knee. Trainer thinks it could have been worse, but likely it's a severe sprain, so he's got to come out of the game. So who will take over? Jake Rogers, who also plays catcher, takes over at third base for the Chicago Cubs. So it's first and third with Craig Biggio up, who flew out in the second. Manager, mound visit, talk it out, plan a strategy, realize you got to get a double play or a strikeout. Let's do this. And it's a single the other way, and it's going to be an RBI single for Craig Biggio. The runner's going to third. Long throw to third base is not in time. So it's 3-2 Chicago. And runners are still at first and third with 1 out. Nice opposite field swing by Biggio. We're going to have to get somebody warmed up in the bullpen. Manager, bullpen. Ed Norton is going to warm up, and Paul Bettany is going to warm up. Let's see if I can get through a couple more batters. Austin Meadows, 1 for 1 with a single. He's hitting .263, 3 homers, 10 runs batted in. Screwball's in there for strike 1.
0-1.
High strike, but strike nonetheless. Count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes on Meadows. And he fouls off the cut fastball. Count remains 0-2. And he drives it foul into the seats. And we'll do it again. And it's a fly ball. It may be deep enough. He circles around it. Strong throw from Batista. He's coming to the plate. It is up the line. It's a sacrifice fly from August Meadows. And the Chicago Cubs take a 4-2 lead.
Now batting, third baseman,
Brian Anderson, the third baseman, is 0 for 1. He flew out in the third. He's hitting .221. There's 2 down, runner at first now. Misses inside, ball 1. And he just gets a piece of it. Count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike on Anderson. Swing and a miss at the high breaking ball. Count is 1-2. Grounds it up the middle. Holland throws to first to retire the side, but they do get 2 runs. And after 4 innings of baseball, it's Chicago 4, MCU Avengers 2.
your attention, please.
Taking over the catching duties for the injured Wilson Contreras is Jake Rogers behind the plate. And Anthony Mackie, the Falcon, singled in the first inning. He's 1 for 2. He leads off the top of the 5th. He's a little late on it. Skies it to center, and it drops in. So it's a bloop single for Falcon, and he leads off the top of the 5th with a hit. Thought that the center fielder would make it. Anyway, Robert Downey Jr. is 1 for 2. Steps up. Nobody out here in the 5th. Grounds it over to second for 1. Back to first. Double play. 3-6-3 double play turned very nicely by the big hurt Frank Thomas. And that, just like that, there's 2 outs here in the 5th. Let's see the replay. Like a cat, pirouettes, throws a strike to second, and then Shortstop throws it back for the 3-6-3 double play. And there's 2 down. Captain America steps up. He's 1 for 1 with a single. Low ball 1. And he hits a drive. Will it be caught? No, it will not. It's going to be a double. Finds its way into the gap, and with 2 down, Chris Evans hits his 5th double of the season. See the replay. Just couldn't catch up to it by the time he got the ball back in. Captain America made his way to second. He can do this all day. So T'Challa steps up. He's 0 for 2. He has a runner in scoring position. High and tight, ball 1. There are 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. Count is 1-0. 2 balls, no strikes. He's hitting .343 on the season. And he just gets a piece of the 2-seam fastball. Count is 2-1. And he pulls the fastball foul. Count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes on Black Panther. Captain America leads off second. And he hits it high and deep. But at the track, George Foster makes the catch to retire the side. So 4.5 innings of baseball. It's the Chicago Cubs 4. The MCU Avengers 2. So here we go to the bottom of the 5th. Short leash for Captain Nick Fury. Robin Yount is 0 for 2. Let's see if he can fight his way through 5 innings. Check the swing. Pitches outside. Ball 1. And he fouls off the change of speed. Count is 1 ball and 1 strike on Robin Yount. And he skies it to short right field, but Tom Holland is there. He makes the catch for out number 1.
Now back, the designated hitter, Lorenzo.
So next up is Lorenzo Cain at a 2-run home run in the 3rd inning. He's 1 for 2. He is the difference maker. And he lines it to short right field, and it will fall. Oh, no, it gets past Dave Bautista and rolls all the way into the corner. And this could go all the way. Throws it to the cutoff man, and he stops at 3rd with a stand-up triple with 1 out. That's Lorenzo Cain's first triple of the game. He has a home run and a triple, so he's gotten the hard ones out of the way if he's interested in getting the cycle. All he needs now is a double and a single. Poor outfield work by Dave Bautista. So next up is the big hurt. He's 0 for 2 today, but he's got a runner 90 feet from home plate with less than 2 outs. Manager, bullpen. The man who first played the Incredible Hulk in the Marvel Universe, Ed Norton, is coming in to pitch against Frank Thomas. He's making his 8th appearance out of the bullpen. He has no record. His ERA is 5.54. They need a strikeout. And he fouls off the 100-mile-an-hour fastball, strike 1. Frank Thomas is hitting .385 with runners in scoring position. Out in front of the slider, count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes on Frank. And he grounds it to deep second base. He'll take the sure out at first. And it's an RBI ground out for Frank Thomas, and they lead by 3. It's Chicago 5-2. There's 2 outs here in the 5th. George Foster had a double in today's game. He's 1 for 2. Bases are empty, 2 outs. Strike 1. And it's a hard ground ball. Diving stop. Throws to first from his knees. Brilliant play by Anthony Mackie. And he retires the side. Let's look at that play again. So at the end of 5 innings, they do get a run. So it's an official ball game. The Chicago Cubs are leading 5-2. Top of the 6th. Stepping up is Mark Ruffalo. They need some base runners. They're down by 3. He's 0 for 2 in today's game. And he swings at the first pitch and pops it up in the infield. Big hurt Frank Thomas is there. He makes the catch. 1 pitch, 1 away. Idris Elba has a double and a run scored today. Steps in. Low and outside, ball 1. Checks his swing, pitches low, count is 2 balls and no strikes on Hemedal. Three and 0. I don't think he'll have the green light. They need base runners, so he's probably taking a pitch. Outside, ball 4, walks him on 4 pitches. So with 1 out, they have the base runner. They need another runner to get on in order to bring the tying run to the plate. Dave Batista's 0 for 2, steps up. Elba leads off first, 1 down here in the top of the 6th. Outside, ball 1. He seems to have just suddenly lost control of the strike zone. And he pulls the fastball deep but foul. Count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike on Drax. Low, 2 and 1. And he grounds it to the shortstop. Over to second for 1. Over to first, double play, side retired. Drax hits into a 6-4-3 double play. And 5.5 innings complete. It's a 3-run lead for Chicago. Leading off the bottom of the 6th is Jake Rogers, who took over after the injury to Wilson Contreras. He's hitting a .158. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Norton's out there for a 2nd inning of work. And he skies it to center, deep center. But Don Cheadle is there to make the catch for the first out here in the 6th.
The center fielder, number 20.
Andrew Jones, a single, a run scored. He's 1 for 2. Fouls the slider back to the screen. Strike 1. Just gets a piece of the breaking ball. Count goes no balls and 2 strikes on Andrew. Fastball inside corner, fouls it off. Count remains 0-2. He fouls it off, stays alive. Swing and a miss. Strike 3, there's 2 down. Nasty breaking ball. Let's see if it was a strike. No, it wasn't. It just darted out of the strike zone. Biggio. It's 1 for 2 with an RBI single. Steps in with 2 down. In there, strike 1. Strike 2. Just misses the outside corner with the fastball. Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes on Craig Biggio. Strike 3, outside corner, side retired. 1-2-3 inning for Ed Norton. And at the end of 6 innings of play, it's still a 3-run lead for the Chicago Cubs. They're leading 5-2.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Pitching change, Michael Felice coming in for his 13th appearance out of the bullpen. His record is 1-2 with a 4.38 earned run average. Don Cheadle, the center fielder, is 2 for 2 today. Bullpen is still active for the Cubs.
For Hollywood, the center fielder, number 10.
Outside ball 1. And he hits it high and deep. But at the track, George Foster makes the catch and left for the first out. Deep drive, but playable.
Second base.
So, Tom Holland is a single today. He's 1 for 3. 4 homers, 21 runs batted in on the season. But he's just 1 for 3 with a single today. Swings and misses at the outside fastball, strike 1. Inside ball 1, count evens 1 ball and 1 strike on Spider-Man. It's a hard ground ball to the second baseman, fires over to first, and there are quickly 2 out.
Now batter.
Anthony Mackie's 2 for 3 with 2 singles today. Steps in with 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Grounds it to Frank Thomas, takes it himself. It's a quick 1-2-3 inning for the relief pitcher Felice, and it's time for the 7th inning stretch, ladies and gentlemen. Get up and stretch. Unfortunately, the Avengers are losing by 3. It's Chicago, 5-2. Bottom of the 7th.
Leading off for the Cubs, the right fielder, Austin.
In there, strike 1, triple digits on the radar gun to Austin Meadows, who's 1 for 1 in the ball game. Hard line drive. It's going to find the gap. It's going to go all the way to the wall. It will be a stand-up double for Austin Meadows to lead off the bottom of the 7th. They have a runner in scoring position. Nobody out. His 4th double of the season. Here's the replay. Just lined it. Hit them where they ain't. So, Brian Anderson is 0 for 2. Outside ball 1. At the knees. Oh no, he called it a ball. Count as 2 balls and no strikes on Anderson. Swing and a miss out in front of the slider. Count as 2-1. Oh no, he hits it high and deep. That is gone. That's a 2-run home run for Brian Anderson, his 3rd of the season. And it's just like that. It's a 7-2 lead. Here's the replay. My goodness. It's a 5-run ball game. Doesn't look good for the Avengers here in the bottom of the 7th. So, at the knees, strike 1. Robin Yount is 0 for 3. Grounds it to the shortstop. Mackie fields, fires, and there's 1 away. Lorenzo Cain, manager of bullpen. Paul Bettany, the man who plays Vision, is going to put him in the game. So Vision is making his 10th appearance out of the bullpen. He's a left-hander. He has an ERA of an even 2. He's given up 2 runs and 9 innings of work. He faces Lorenzo Cain, who's 2 for 3 with a homer and a triple. And he fouls off the first pitch, strike 1. And he lines it down the line, finds his seats, count as 0-2 on Cain. Fouls it off. 101 miles an hour on the radar gun. He's a machine. In there, strike 3, and there's 2 down. And his hopes of having the cycle have diminished with that strikeout. He might not get enough at-bats. Frank Thomas, 2 down, base is empty. He's 0 for 3, it's bottom of the 7th. Paul Bettany deals. And he hits it high and deep, but playable for Idris Elba in left. He makes the catch to retire the side, but not before Brian Anderson gives them an extra 2 insurance runs. And after 7 innings of baseball, it's the Chicago Cubs 7, the MCU Avengers 2. Ooh, not a good game. Top of the 8th, Robert Downey Jr. steps up. He is 1 for 3. Michael Felice is in there for a 2nd inning of work. Lines it over the head and towards the gap of the second baseman. He's going to make it all the way to second base. So leadoff single for Tony Stark. Leadoff double, check that. His 5th of the season for Tony Stark. They have a runner in scoring position with nobody out here in the top of the 8th. So Captain America's up. He's 2 for 2 today. Checks the swing, pitches inside, ball 1. Hits a high, deep drive to center, but playable. Andrew Jones makes the catch. He's tagging. It's not a speedster. And he's in there. Dangerous play, but now he's in scoring position with 1 out. He's in runner at third with less than 2 outs, but there's a big gamble. In any event, Chadwick Boseman steps up. There's 1 down here in the 8th. He's 0 for 3. Out in front of the slider, strike 1. Outside, count evens 1 ball and 1 strike on Boseman. And he grounds the slider foul. Count goes 1 and 2 on T'Challa. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and there's 2 outs. He does not get the runner home. That's his first strikeout. Mark Ruffalo's 0 for 3. He's got to get a hit to get that runner home. They have 5 runs to make up and 4 outs. And he might have done it, might have gotten himself a home run on the warning track. Center fielder Andrew Jones makes the catch to retire the side. And after 7.5 innings of baseball, it's still a 3-run lead for the Chicago Cubs. They're leading 5-2. Check that. 5-run lead, 7-2. Durr. So it is the bottom of the 8th. George Foster's up. He has a double today. He's 1 for 3. Bettany's still out there. Ooh, just missed. Bettany wanted that pitch. Ball 1. And he slices it foul. Strike 1, ball 1. Count is even. Line drive to center is in there for a base hit. And they lead off with a single. Next up is Jake Rogers. He is 3 for 20 on the season. Swing and a miss, strike 1. In there, strike 2. Count is no balls and 2 strikes on Rogers. Just gets a piece of the changeup. Count remains 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. It's a 100-mile-an-hour fastball. And there's 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th. Andrew Jones, 1 for 3 with a single. And he fouls off the curveball at the plate, strike 1. It's hitting 316 on the season. Inside, count evens 1 ball and 1 strike on Jones. Remember him from the 1996 World Series the Atlanta Braves versus the New York Yankees. He was a 19-year-old kid then. Strike two, count as 1 ball and 2 strikes. I guess he didn't have the career that he thought he would have. Everyone thought he was going to be Hall of Famer. And he wasn't. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and there's 2 down. So they get the leadoff man on. And he strikes out the next 2 batters. Craig Biggio. 2 outs, runner at first. Is an RBI single today. He's 1 for 3. Breaking ball finds the corner, strike 1. In there at the knees, strike 2. Just misses inside with the breaking ball. Count as 1 ball and 2 strikes on Biggio. Grounds it up the middle. Long run for Mackie. Throws in, scoops it out of the dirt to retire the side. So we go to the top of the 9th. It's last licks for the Avengers. They need 5 runs to tie. Can they do it? The score is 7-2. Cubs.
Your attention, please.
Jimmy Cordero pitching his 12th game in relief. He has no record or saves, but his ERA is 2.08 for the Cubs. He steps on the mound in the 9th. Idris Elba leads off. He's 1 for 2. I'm going to just stretch and toss Jeremy Renner. If I get lucky, I want to have him ready. Idris Elba, 1 for 2. Steps in. Outside, ball 1. 98-mile-an-hour sinker. That's a fast sinker, boy. Ooh. Pulls it foul. Count evens 1 ball and 1 strike on Hamadal. Outside, 2-1. 5-run lead. They need base runners. Swing and a miss. Count is 2 balls and 2 strikes on Idris. And he just gets a piece of the sinker to stay alive. And he grounds it back through the box and up the middle. Leadoff single for the Avengers. He's 2 for 3. Perhaps 2 for 4. I don't remember. But anyway, bottom line is Dave Bautista's up. He's 0 for 3. He now has a runner at first and nobody out here in the top of the 9th. And he swings at a pitch way outside. Gives up a strike. It's 0-1. Grounds it past the reaching Frank Thomas. And it's going to be 1st and 3rd with nobody out here in the top of the 9th. Reached out, poked it down the first base line. Very surprised Frank didn't at least knock that down. Well, anyway. Don Cheadle is 2 for 3 today with an RBI. His batting average is up to 368. He has an opportunity with runners at 1st and 3rd with nobody out here in the top of the 9th. Pitch is outside, ball 1. Lefty and a righty warming up in the Cubs bullpen. Outside, ball 2. Count is 2 balls and no strikes on Rhodey. And he hits a drive. George Foster, he tags. The throw to the plate is in time, and it's a double play. Bad base running decision. If you didn't think you could definitely make it, there's no reason to hit into a double play. Well, anyway, Tom Holland is 1 for 4. There's 2 outs. He represents the final out at the plate. And he hits the first. So they go from 1st and 3rd with nobody out to having 1 runner on and 2 outs. So it's just not a good decision. And he grounds to the 3rd baseman, fires across, inning over, side retired, ball game over, Cubs win. So it's the first game of a 3-game set at Wrigley Field. Goes to the Chicago Cubs 7-2. Let's do the wrap up the right way. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. This is a 162 game schedule. We're going to lose games. Right now, the Hollywood Avengers are 12-10 in their first 22 games. Not very good. So anyway, it's Chicago 7 runs, 10 hits, no errors. Hollywood Avengers 2 runs, 12 hits, no errors. Sonny Gray gets the win. Samuel L. Jackson gets the loss. Lorenzo Cain, 2 for 4 with a homer and a triple, is the player of the game. This has been a presentation of Avengers Baseball. I am RC Robbin. It's a created franchise on MLB The Show 20 on my PS4. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. Have yourself a great night. Hope to see you again soon.